Hello everyone, Rich here, back for another video for the Diecast F1 review. Here today is the Ferrari F138 from the 2013 Formula 1 World Championship, and in the car is Fernando Alonso. Now Ferrari went into 2013 with a lot more preparation. They'd learned from their mistakes throughout 2012 at how not to design an F1 car, and my golly did the car look good when it was launched. A much higher raised nose, a black stripe and black and white stripe added to the underside of the car, and a bit more red added. Much more cleanly packaged car around the rear, and it seemed to work pretty much straight out the box. It wasn't a winner first time out. I think they had to wait to around round 3 or round 4 for their first win. I think it was in China that they got their first win, and then another win followed in Spain, but sadly that's all that could come out of the Ferrari in 2013. With the resurgence of Red Bull, basically Red Bull getting their act together much earlier in the season, and also the emergence of Mercedes, Ferrari just sort of continued along a straight line, whereas everyone else sort of improved or unimproved, if you know what I mean. McLaren fell by the wayside, Williams dropped back as well, so Ferrari just sort of dropped back to third place, Mercedes taking the glory for second. Ferrari were there constantly on the podium, but results just weren't there race winning wise. The car was at best second best in the season, basically just picking off the points that Mercedes couldn't pick up. But that's pretty much it. Only 2 wins throughout the year. A drop in points as well, from 400 in 2012 down to 354 in 2013. Only 2 wins, no pole positions. No pole positions, 10 podiums and 2 fastest laps. So the car was a better looking car, probably a better engineered car, but just lacked pace throughout the end of the season, or throughout the season. And development pretty much continued in that direction. I think Ferrari was just sort of preparing for 2014 with the hybrid era, which would follow the next year, and so that the F138 ended the V8 era. Hence the name, really. The F1, or the F13 for 2013 and the 8 for V8 was a signal of the end of the V8 era. But that's not really much important compared to, considering Ferrari's performance. But yeah, it's just a shame that Ferrari petered out that way, and it really was the last. It was the last season in which Fernando Alonso picked up victories. He'd have one more podium in his career after 2013. That would have been in 2014 in that awful-looking F2013. But that really was it for Fernando. On the other hand, Felipe Massa, in terms of performance, had a relatively poor season in 2013, and he was quite happy to leave Ferrari at the end of the season and join Williams, which are on a resurgence. So I think everyone was happy in that department. But yeah, the Ferrari was at best just an average front runner, really. When Mercedes got their act together and started scoring the podiums and the victories, that was pretty much it for Ferrari. Ferrari just fell back, and yeah, it's kind of like what happened in 2016 as well. The car started off fast and just petered off towards the end of the season, with the much unexpected teams picking them off towards the end of the season. So yeah, it was an unexpected season, but visually the car was very good, so that's the only good thing about it. Anyway, that's enough about the car itself. Onto the model, and once again it's the Hot Wheels model, as you can see down there. Once again in the traditional Ferrari red box. I will do a spin around of the box. It's basically the same box as 2012, I think, it's just with a slightly different car on the side. So you turn around the side, we've got the car on the side there. Around the back we've got both cars again, the 2013 cars again, both signatures. Around the other side the same picture again, and back to the front. So that's the car in the box, and as usual it is a windowed box. So that's that. I shall try and get it out the box this time, and hopefully it will be easier to get out. So it's open that side, and once again it's the usual foldy flaps. I'm going to try and get my hand in there. If I zoom out a second, that's as far as I can zoom. So try and get it out the box. Bear with me. Oh, there we are. They're really tightly packaged, these boxes, don't they? Anyway, that's the car on the black plinth again. Once again, nicely detailed. And in my opinion, it seems to be a much deeper red this season. The car it just sort of looks a lot better. That's in the natural light. Anyway, I mean, on the camera you can't really tell, but it does look a lot better. So we look over the front of the car. Can't tell the nose at the moment, but you have got a much higher, much more elegant nose, and really basic front wing around the front suspension. Sorry about the light again. So I'm in the shadows. So yeah, not a bad looking machine this thing. It's a simpler design, and yeah, it's not a bad looking machine, so I won't bother talking about it in the box. What I'm going to do, I shall get the old screwdriver out and undo it, just see what we need. We need the usual thing, 4 screws, so we shall do that. So I shall get it off the box and we shall see. So back in a moment. Okay, back again. So here's the car out of its box, and I must say it's a very nice looking car as well. Let me just adjust my seating position. But yeah, it's a very nice looking machine, as you can see. Like I say, very high nose, and very nice it is too. I would prefer if it had been a bit narrower, but I suppose that was the design concept at the time. So you can look at the front profile of the car. It's a very wide nose, and it looks weird from the front, but from the side profile and pretty much every angle, it is a very attractive nose. It's just it looks a bit weird along the front there. The front wing itself is, I think, judging by the look of it, is another single piece of moulded plastic again. It's very simple and basic design. But I suppose if you want to buy the Elite version, I think the Elite one is a bit more detailed. Maybe it's probably still a single piece of plastic, but you should have a bit more carbon detail on it. But there we go. A lot more red on the front wing as well this time. So there we go. So that's the front wing. I'll just turn the car again. You've got the front wheels again, the same wheel design as in 2012. So not really much to shout about them. Once again, though, it's the same Mattel basic tyres with a bit more. So I think it's a bit more sprue on it this time on the moulding of the tyre. So yeah, it's not as good as I think as 2012, but there we go. So that's the front of the car, front wheels there, and just got the side pods there. And once again, though, it's a very heavy car. So there you go. There's the side pod detail there. The side pod seems to curve in at the front. So if I just give a top view of it, it's sort of similar to what they've achieved in 2017 and 18. If you look at the top of the side pods, they are sort of curving forward very elegantly. They're much shorter side pods as well compared to their previous car. Or at least that's the illusion because of the black paint at the back. So it sort of gives the illusion that the car is a bit shorter on the side pod front. So that's sort of how it looks there. So if we look at that rear end, you can see the exhausts. The exhausts are a bit more exposed this time, whereas on the 2012 car, the exhaust was sort of in a tube of bodywork. But that was only a temporary thing on the real car. So there we go. But there's the paint around there, sort of heat resistant paint around the or carbon, what would be carbon detailing on the rear of the bodywork. They don't look too bad, but I think they could have done a bit more detailing on there, but that's no big deal. It's just my complaint, I think. So I'll look around the back, and once again got the rear of the bodywork, and once again this is on a sloped platform, this is, so the car is actually trying to roll backwards. It's a very heavy car. I mean, especially at the back end here, it just seems like they put a couple of lead weights inside it. It's a really beefy model, this is. And once again, you've got to look around the rear wing. Once again, the rear wing is basic in terms of its design. It's sort of a solid lump of plastic, if you know what I mean. So if I just turn it around, you can't see the fins at the bottom here. I don't think it actually has. Oh, it does have a sort of fin at the back here. You've got this sort of used these weird double fins on the rear wing sort of elements, but they're just single plastic again, and no detail to them. They're just sort of moulded, and no element to them. Same with the gills on the top of the rear wing end fence. They're just not painted, but they are actually moulded, but you can't see through them. They're just sort of a one-way design. If you look on the other end plate, you can see it's just a flat piece of plastic. So that's a shame, but there you go. That's Mattel for you. And yeah, overall, it's not a bad looking model. They've got a few extra sponsors this year. They've got the UPS or UPS on the side there, and it's just a shame the camera doesn't show the quality of the red paint. I mean, it's a very striking livery this car has. I don't know what it is, whether Mattel changed their colour palette, but it is a very nice red, very blood red, and yeah, it just doesn't show on the camera. But that's the way things are. That's the way things will have to go. But very nicely sculpted car. You got the same undersculpt of the side pods there. Not as extreme as the previous car, but then again, the previous car was a lemon, and yeah, it's quite nicely done. So you've got the side pods, the exhausts coming out the top there, and the rear bodywork curves down towards the rear suspension. Sort of not so much a blown diffuser, but a basic sort of going along those lines. And I'll turn forward again. Once again, you've got the front wheel steering. So if I just lift the front up, so try and get an angle on it. The front wheels do steer, and they're a bit more stiffer than the previous years. So there's a bit less play. If you know what I mean, the wheels are sort of fixed together rather than sort of one being independent, so they're quite a bit more beefed from this time. And once again, you've got the steering wheel at the front as well, so you can see Fernando's steering wheel turns as well, slightly. Actually, it's stuck. Well, it turns one way, that's the main thing. Good on an oval, I suppose. So there we go, that's that. So once again, to look around the side, really can't get over how good this car is, but there we go. It's a shame it wasn't a performance winning car, but you know, it's just something that's just sort of preparing for the next generation of Formula 1 really. But there we go, you see the 2012 car at a distance there. But yeah, it's a very nice model, and I would recommend it. If you're a Ferrari collector, then by all means get it. You know, it's just something you have to get. But for a Formula 1 fan, and if you're big on aesthetics, then this car is definitely one for you as well. It's just a beauty, a real beauty, I think. Just a shame that, like I say, it wasn't a real performance car, but hey ho, there we go. And yeah, it's just sort of the last Ferrari of that era, if you know what I mean, the V8 era, before they went hybrid. And yeah, it's a real looker. And it looks good in anything. I mean, it looks good in the box, it looked good on display. I mean, even on this black platform it looks good, so it's just something that really stands out. There's a really deep red, pardon me, colour scheme, and it's one that I would recommend getting. You can get this one, or you can get the Elite version. The Elite version is a bit more, well, it's detailed nonetheless, but you've got carbon detailing on all the panels, like the black panels. You'll have detailing around the exhaust and suspension and things, carbon detailing. You probably have a bit more detail on the front wing as well, and probably a few rivets along the side pods and on the underside as well. Scrub tyres, that's always a given with the Elite versions, and maybe some more detail around the rear wing. I can't be sure, or I can't guarantee or confirm any of those things, but that's usually what you get with an Elite version. With the Elite version, Elite parts, you get the Elite price as well, but I don't really know what the price is. This car is, I can't really say if this is a rare car or not. It's something that's not been on the market, I haven't seen for a long time. It's similar to the 2012 car. It doesn't come on the market very often, so it's not something I can vouch for on the price. So I don't really know what the price is. I mean, I was given this as a present, birthday present, I think back in 2014. So yeah, I'm not really sure on the price of it. So yeah, it's one of those things I can't really vouch on. But I'd imagine it's more expensive than, say, the Barago models. But and again, it is slightly better quality. Well, I'd say it is better quality than the Barago models, but I'm not complaining about the Barago models. They're very good models as well for their price. But I just think with the Mattel name to it, you're going to pay a bit more. So yeah, it's one of those things with this car. I don't really know the price range of it, and it's kind of like, yeah, it's similar to the 2012 car. They don't come on the market very often, and it's not as rare as the 2014 car though. I mean, that is very rare, and I have not seen I've seen them for sale, but I've not been able to get my hands on one because the price just sort of skyrocketed as soon as it was announced, or as soon as it was released. So it's the last Mattel Ferrari as well. So yeah, it's a rare one on that one. I think the last 3 Ferraris from Mattel are the rare ones, but I'm not going to complain. But yeah, we'll leave it at that. I think the camera is starting to flash at me again. I do not know why. But we'll leave it at that, and we'll call it a day. So one more look over the car while I knock the camera over. Apologies there. Oh yeah, we'll look up at the collection up there. Got a few more to review up there, as you can guess. But yeah, that is my review of the 2013 Ferrari, and we'll call it a day there. So this is Rich, signing off, logging off and disappearing, and I shall return with another video. So bye for now.